day 4 now. Rescuers are racing against time. These are harsh weather conditions and to search for survivors who may be still trapped under the debris. Death toll over 280. Over 200 people reportedly missing. Met Department issued an orange alert in 4 northern districts of Kerala, including Wayanad. The wind speed is expected to also continue to be very high. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has said government's main priority is rescue at the moment. Next priority will be to rehabilitate and help the survivors, those affected.
Construction work of the Bailey Bridge is still going on here. What we're understanding is that it will be fully ready by evening, and then the rescue operation can be, speeded up is what they're expecting. In fact, once this is done, ambulances and all the equipments can, start moving is what the rescue operators here are hoping, because on the other side is where around, many families, many houses were lost, so there are still people stuck there. So once this is ready, once the bridge is completed, then today the number of people, the number of bodies recovered would be really high, is what we're understanding. On the topmost part, Mundakai, there are a lot of rescue operators now deployed. So this is once this bridge is ready, then it's going to be, the recovery of bodies are going to be very fast, and the number will be really high is what we are hearing, because the death toll has already crossed 250. It's standing at 254. The unofficial data is 282 plus. So which means and around 220 people are missing. So that means the number is going to be really high, which could possibly take over the death toll that was reported during the Kerala floods in 2018. But yes, the focus completely is on this Bailey Bridge construction, which the army and the officials here expects to be completed by today evening. It was expected that yesterday itself it could be completed, but no, that was not the situation. We can see here the entire area is still covered by smog. So it's not very easy, because the rainfall prediction is also there for today and tomorrow. So if the rain continues to, hit if it continues to rain very heavily, then again it becomes even more tough. But hopefully once this is completed, we can, probably have a number, the final numbers by today or tomorrow is finish the rescue operations as soon as possible in the next 2 days. The hilly area, it's still very risky, and they have been working on the ground without any break since the last 2 days, carrying out these rescue operations. So safety of these rescue operators and everybody at this place is very important also. That's why there's a small halt right now, for hoping that the climate will turn favorable with time. But right now it's raining heavily and making it very difficult to carry out the rescue operations.
And this is the topmost point of Mundakai, where rescue operations are going on. This path behind me leads to another portion of where the landslide hit. And so I've already trekked 7 kilometers. So going further up till there will be another 5 kilometers. Officials have advised me against it, which is why I can't go right now, because they're saying it's dangerous. And because of the rains, there could be issues. There could be more landslides. And they have specific alerts about that, which is why we're not going to go that side and heed the officials' warning. What's happening here? And the reason I decided to come up here is to show you how Mundakai, most people don't believe me when I've been saying repeatedly that this was a full-fledged town, a bustling town that's come crashing down. These buildings and this entire area is evidence of really the fact that Mundakai was fully developed, had this massive population, had homes, had shops. As you can see here, these were all shops, establishments put up along the road, where in fact the earth mover is. That was the road, a road that locals tell me even buses used to frequent. So that's how much it was populated and was a bustling area as well. Now, if I walk right through this entire stretch, I'll show you, and we'll go forward, because on the other side, I can also show you the extent of damage the landslide has caused. All of this area, we're not allowed to go again because the mud is loose, and on the other side is just a complete drop. But this entire area, again, were shops. So buried underneath this are shops, which officials are yet to get to because it's on the edge, it's dangerous. On the right hand, you can see vehicles that have been toppled over, as well as this mosque, remnants of this mosque. And people tell me that the locals actually when they realized that there was too much rain, didn't stay in their homes. Many of them rushed to this particular mosque. Some managed to survive, those who waited on the top of the building. So they managed to survive this particular incident. This is a town that had 500 plus people, all now gone. Many of them, their bodies have been found. There are still questions about some others who are missing. Miraculously, some very, very few have managed to survive to tell the tale. And those were people who were at the top of their homes, and their homes withstood the damage, didn't come crashing down. Then they managed to survive. Amid the heavy rain, with several new pockets being found that have been impacted by the landslide, here's how officials are actually testing before earth movers are taken in, and whether it's safe for other officials to go through. These are experts, divers, who are here just for this. They first walk in there, check how deep and how soft the soil is, whether it's safe for earth movers to come in, because then you can speed up the operation. These officials there, the divers, are doing exactly that. They're checking whether it's safe for other personnel to go in. They're also checking if it's safe for earth movers to go in. So this patch now, they will for the first time use equipment, use earth movers to actually dig through and see if there's any debris to be found. So there are several such pockets where operations are just about starting now. Their entire stretch down there, no one's been able to reach just yet. So then the question arises about whether we're going to be seeing the number of deaths actually increasing. The officials that we've spoken to, the locals we've spoken to, they all unfortunately and tragically believe that yes, it's going to be much more than even at this point, 250 plus, than what it's thought out to be now. With video journalist Sachin Chandok, this is Akshita Nandagopal reporting from Wayanad for India Today.
All the landslide patients were brought here, 176 of them, out of which 11 are in the ICU, 3 are in critical condition. We have covered everything free of cost so far. It is our responsibility to help our people as much as possible. When things like this happen, our people rally. We are there. Right now we have 70 patients remaining. Out of the 170, a lot of them were discharged. But there's a lot of work to be done, and we are here, we're supporting the people.
The destruction that you see on the ground, with more and more visuals that continue to come in, specifically the aerial surveys, that is when you realize the aftermath. And then there are the human beings looking for their loved ones, distraught families looking for the missing. Sagai Raj, Shibemol, Akshita Nandagopal from India Today are on the ground, and this is their ground report from Wayanad.
3 days after 2 huge landslides hit Wayanad, hope of any more survivors is fading. From Mepadi to Mundakai to Churalmala, one long stretch of houses, shops, plantations and human lives lay buried under tons and tons of mud. Wayanad is still counting the dead. The toll has crossed 250.
A hilly area, it's still very risky, and they have been working on the ground without any break since the last 2 days, carrying out these rescue operations. So safety of these rescue operators and everybody at this place is very important also. That's why there's a small halt right now for hoping that the climate will turn favorable with time.
She's searching for her 9-year-old granddaughter, who has been in her care since she was 2 months old.
எங்கள் வீட்டில் தான் படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தாங்க சார். அந்த பிள்ளை இந்த வருஷம் தான் கூட்டிகிட்டு போனாங்க படிக்க வைக்கிறேன்னு. 2 மாதம் கூட ஆன சார், இப்படி ஆயிடுச்சு. அந்த பிள்ளை எனக்கு முகத்தை பார்க்க போகல, பார்க்க சங்கடம் சகிக்க முடியல சார். வேக பார்த்துக்கொண்டு சொன்னால் மறு முகத்தையாச்சும் நாங்கள் பார்த்துக்க முடியல. 3 நாள் பார்த்து சோட்டில் கிடக்குது சார். நான் மகளும் வீட்டுக்கு போக முடியாது, வீடு கிடக்குதாங்க. என்ன செய்யறது, வீடு அங்கே இல்லை, அவங்க வீடே இல்லை.
எவ்வளோ வயசு அந்த பொண்ணுக்கு?
9 வயசு சார். இந்த டிசம்பர் வந்ததை 10 தொடங்கும் 9 வயசு. நாங்கள் சங்கடத்தில் முங்கி கழிஞ்சிட்டு கிடக்கிறோம் சார். சாப்பாடு கொடுக்குறாங்கெல்லாம் செய்கிறாங்க. நம்மளுக்கு அந்த பிள்ளை பார்க்க எப்படா பார்க்குறேன்னு எல்லா சவத்தையும் போய் திறந்து பார்க்குறோம். என்ன செய்யறது, அழகான பிள்ளை, அழகான குழந்தை. என்ன அவங்க அம்மாளியா இருந்துட்டு நான் தான் சார் குழந்தையில இருந்து பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தேன். 2 മാസം മാത്രം കൊണ്ടുപോയത് പുള്ളിയാൾ കൊണ്ടുവന്നു സാറേ കൊണ്ടുവന്നു
This family has lost 7 members.
ഞങ്ങളെ ഫാമിലിയിൽ 7 പേര് പോയി. ഞങ്ങൾ 2 ആൾ മാത്രമുണ്ട്. ഉമ്മ, അനിയന്, ഭാര്യ, മക്കള്, താത്താന്റെ ഭർത്താവ്. താത്താന്റെ 2 മക്കളുണ്ട്. അവർക്കൊന്നുമില്ല. മക്കള് മാത്രമുണ്ട്. താത്തയും ഭർത്താവും പോയി. 2 മക്കള് മാത്രമുണ്ട്.
Survivors relieved to have escaped the jaws of death, but still in shock, realizing they won't be seeing many of their loved ones again. Never again. That is the story of Wayanad. The rescue operation is still on. A temporary Bailey bridge in Churalmala, constructed by the Army's Engineer Task Force, will allow the flow of heavy vehicles to landslide-hit areas and speed up rescue. The Met Department has predicted more rain for Wayanad and adjoining districts over the next couple of days. The rains are slowing rescue efforts, but the Samaritans soldier on. With Sagai Raj and Shibi Mol in Wayanad, Bureau Report, India Today.